Hi, this is Steve O'Mooney, and you're listening to another production of the Four-Eyed Radio Network at foureyeradio.com.
This Four-Eyed Radio production is brought to you by America Joy Print Shop. All your printing needs taken care of in one convenient place. Visit americajoy.com for business cards, flyers, banners, decals, car wraps, and more. Visit americajoy.com.
Welcome to the podcast. Save file corrupted.
The hell?
A network server error may have occurred.
No, that's like a save file.
It may have occurred.
Yeah, right. May or may not. There is no try.
Error fetching error.
So, finally got my hands on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, how you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I just want to go, before I get into what I think of the game, I just want to take a moment to address how people say, you know, video games cause violence, and they're the reason why people are more violent and shooting people. If there's anything that I've taken away from GTA 5, is to make sure you look both ways when you cross the road. And I'm a lot more mindful of traffic, because I have died more times in GTA 5 by being hit by cars than gunfire, than explosives, than being stabbed to death by fucking meth dealers. Like, those people are no joke. Like, they will just fucking run you over. And I don't mean like you just get hit and you hit the ground. Like, I'm talking about you're jettisoned into the air. Like, you know,
Really?
like you got fired out of a cannon.
Do you die like when you hit the ground?
It depends what your health is, and like one time I had body armor, so it knocked down my body armor to like half. That body armor's not cheap. It's like $2,500. So I'll just say that I've driven a lot better in real life after playing that game, because I realize, you know, the dangers. So I just want to say that for all the naysayers, like, oh, it's a violent video game. No, it's a learning tool to teach you look both ways and to obey traffic laws.
Hey.
Oh yeah, because that's the other thing, because I kept T-boning cars when I ran red lights, and you fly through your windshield, because apparently seatbelts don't exist in GTA. You fly out the windshield, that's like instant death. Like, you die before you hit the ground. They just like freeze frames, and you just die, and your lifeless body just flops onto the ground. So
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like I said, driving a lot better after playing that game. But I don't know, the story's really fun. Like, I didn't think I would get into the characters nearly as much as I did. My favorite character, other than Trevor, obviously, who's the psychopath, but Lamar, who's friends with Franklin. And Lamar is just such an idiot, but he's hilarious. He's just like, he's almost like Cousin Day Day in the Friday movies, for like, if I can make a comparison.
No.
But he's like, every time he tries to do any type of deal, he gets double crossed, and like everyone's trying to kill him because he's such a dumbass. But he's just hilarious, and it's just like his interactions with Franklin are just really funny, because they're just like ripping at each other all the time. Like, there's a part at the end, he's like, man, you doing something for somebody else? You get me all teary-eyed, man. It's like, I might even have to like blow you or something. It's just just fucking with each other just constantly. And then Franklin, Michael's really interesting because this whole family dynamic. Mm-hmm. You know, he's the only one that's really like rich and successful, but all he does is like lay by the pool and like watch old movies while his whole family hates him, and they hate on him hard. Wow. And when you start the game, you feel bad for him because he's really trying. I mean, obviously you can tell he did a lot of shitty stuff in his past, but his son especially just fucking hates him. His wife is always cheating on him.
So the only part I've seen was like in the trailers and stuff, or just like the character backstories. There's like son's like playing video games.
Yeah,
he's like just fucking breaks the TV.
Yeah, he's like trying to get like his attention to go for a walk or some shit. And I just love it. Yeah, his son is pretty much literally like the cliche like Halo or Call of Duty player online. Yeah. Just like talking all this shit. Like, oh man, his son's actually pretty funny. And then Trevor, obviously, is the one where he's the controversial one because he tortures people. Like, look.
Is he
sometimes,
is he like the hobo-looking guy?
Yeah. He's like the hillbilly that makes meth in his trailer. The American dream. But, I don't know. He's a fun character. It's just funny to me because it's like, it's Grand Theft Auto. What do you expect? That's like getting offended by Mortal Kombat because someone gets their spine ripped out. It's like, well, for people that are paralyzed, this is very detrimental to their self-esteem. It's like, yeah, I imagine it would be. That's why you should play a game that's not predicated on fucking fatalities, you know? Yeah. It's like, GTA is like social commentary, but also it's just like carnage So, I don't know. But it's a great game. Online, there's a little bit left to be desired. I thought there'd be more missions. Like actual, like, hey, let's go rob a bank, or hey, let's steal a jumbo jet or something. And I'm sure those are there, and I think you have to unlock them. But like 90% of the missions is like deathmatch and racing. If I wanted to race, I would play Gran Turismo or fucking Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
If I wanted a deathmatch, I'd play FPS. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto because I want to do Grand Theft Auto things. I want to fucking deathmatch and race.
I want to do stuff that the game is named after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to steal cars and do missions and do, like, robberies.
Yeah, I want to fight tanks.
Fight the army.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's one mission. You're like in a fucking, forklift. Or not a forklift, but it's some type of, like, construction thing. And it's going slow as fuck. And there's, like, a tank behind you and a tank, like perpendicular to you, and you're, like, trying to outrun this shit. It's like, there's no way!
Yeah.
I died so many times, and I was like, oh,
You're not Nathan Drake.
No.
Can't outrun a tank.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, he was at least on foot, though. I think you could actually outrun this vehicle on foot easily.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Nathan Drake, the floor just falls in, so tanks can't handle that shit.
Yeah, they can't handle the earth sinking.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But I would definitely recommend it. I mean, it seems like a lot of fun. I mean, it is a lot of fun. And online seems like it's just getting better. Like, they keep updating it. They're adding more and more things you can do, but it's more missions. I mean, the whole thing is like you're retired bank robbers. I want to rob more banks, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's my 2 cents.
Overall, is it what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10...
Including the multiplayer and everything like that, just overall.
I would give it an 8.
8?
Because the only thing with the story is the story starts off really strong, and I'm really intrigued by it, and then it takes like this left turn, and they introduce this guy who pretty much like tells you he's going to give you like a theater, and then some rich asshole like comes in, and he's like a great villain because you fucking hate him, like he's so obnoxious. But they come out of nowhere, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention to their introduction, but like everything else is seamless until they come in. And, I mean, their missions are still fun, their interactions are still fun, but, like, it makes the story take this huge departure. And I almost feel like they threw those guys in there just to elongate the story.
Yeah.
So, that's really the only real knock on it, I can say. And that, and having played Sleeping Dogs, I know you can relate to this, where it's like, there were just things where it's like Sleeping Dogs is still more innovative. It's like GTA 5 should be the pinnacle of sandbox games, but it still isn't. You know, the fighting is a lot better than it used to be, but it's still no Sleeping Dogs. You can't jump from one car to the next car, you know. There's just stuff like that where I feel like Sleeping Dogs is still superior in some of the gameplay mechanics.
Oh, yeah, dude. The gameplay mechanics for Sleeping Dogs is awesome. Like, hand-to-hand combat, and be able to jack cars while you're driving a car, and you can lean out the door and then jack another, just jump to the other car. But the thing behind Sleeping Dogs, it had like that whole, you know, kung fu, you know, movie-esque, you know, Jackie Chan Rumble in the Bronx style action.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it really fit. But yeah, I love Sleeping Dogs. I haven't played GTA 5, but would you say that Hideo Kojima has nothing to worry about?
I would say so. I mean, the thing is, like, obviously it's this huge, expansive city, but it's like Metal Gear Solid is such a completely different game.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm sure the action in Metal Gear Solid is going to be better than the action in GTA.
And the story's going to be.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Really weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be really weird and awesome at the same time.
It's not Metal Gear if it's not a weird fucking story.
Definitely.
It is not Metal Gear if it doesn't rub you the wrong way in some aspect or another.
Exactly. It's not Metal Gear.
Rubs me the right way.
It's not Metal Gear.
Well, things that rub people the wrong way rubs you the right way. So you're disqualified.
That is true.
It's not Metal Gear if there's not a bunch of American influence, and if he doesn't say Metal Gear.
Yeah, I still don't know what this thing is.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear Kiefer say it.
Yeah, dude, he's got to give it justice. Like that's got to be a line I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna say Metal Gear, and he has to react saying Metal Gear.
I want to hear him say Metal Gear. Beep, boop, beep.
Chloe,
boop.
uploaded this to my PDA. They have sarin gas. It's leaking
in there.
in
How awesome would that be? Well, I'm sure he would probably be like, "Oh, really?
The president is in danger."
It was like his instead of like having Naomi or something like that, it's gonna be like Chloe.
I don't think he would be opposed to it because he's actually going to come back to do like a miniseries, like a 12 episode miniseries.
Nice.
But I don't know. I'm just waiting for the David Hayter DLC where you can put his voice in place.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna grow because Kiefer Sutherland's great.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Jack Bauer.
Yeah, because like I said, the comparison between like the Sam Fisher voice is changing, was pretty big, but I got used to it. But this is even bigger character that like. No,
yeah, but that voice wasn't like as prolific.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. But this one's a pretty big jump. But I still, if anybody, I mean, Kiefer Sutherland, he has experience in the whole, being the character of someone in the intelligence, section.
Yeah.
I feel like his voice could do it. I have to play it. Not that I'm gonna miss David Hayter because he has that classic Snake voice.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't seem like Snake knows anything. His Metal Gear is like, yes, we've explained it to you 6 times, Snake.
Are you serious? I just got through explaining it.
That's what your mission was the whole time. Oh, I was eating a snake.
Yeah.
I had to survive. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Kiefer Sutherland, I definitely don't think he's going to do a bad job. I think he's probably going to be the best voice actor in the game. Mm-hmm. But I need my David Hayter, and I need it now. That actually brings me to another point. There's a video clip, I have to post the link, where it's, because, they're also changing the voices in Arkham Origins, no Kevin Conroy. This is like the year of just rip my heart out in video game voices. And obviously no Mark Hamill, because he finally is like, all right, I'm for real this time.
Yeah.
I'm done with the Joker.
10th time, I'm done with the Joker.
Yeah.
Until they throw more money at him again.
However, the guy that they picked to replace him does it spot on.
Really?
Like, it is really good.
Wow.
Like, he read, like, a passage from, like, The Killing Joke, and this is like, wow, this is really good. Like, he studied Mark Hamill, you could tell.
Yeah.
And he has it, like, down. I was like, all right. Now, if the guy doing Batman could do Kevin Conroy like that, then I'll be okay. But if not, fuck him.
They should have Dean from Supernatural. Forget the guy's name.
Oh, they meant Dean Cain.
No.
Superman.
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles. Yeah, Dean Winchester. I don't know. I'm just in love with that show right now. So
I haven't watched it yet.
ever since Jay said he looked like a good Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I completely agree.
With the cape and cowl.
Yeah, I think he does, man.
Yeah, man. Hibiki said that he's actually really short, and that he always. I didn't even notice it before she told me, but she said she's always wearing that he is always wearing boots in Supernatural because Sammy, his younger brother in the show, that fool's like fucking tall as shit. And, like, you just have to wear boots all the time. So apparently he's a lot shorter than he looked. Yeah, that guy right there. He'd be a good Bruce Wayne. Got the voice, got the jawline, got everything.
He's no Liam McIntyre, but he'll do.
Who's Liam McIntyre?
Spartacus.
Is that who's gonna... Oh, no, it's Ben Affleck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Well,
Ben Affleck's easily forgettable.
More video game news. Moving on. Activision Blizzard completes deal to buy itself. John wrote about Activision Blizzard going independent back in July, but then there was a shareholder lawsuit, after which blah, blah, blah. So basically the deal involves Activision paying $5.83 billion for shares and an investment group led by Bobby Kotick paying a further $2.34 billion to complete the deal. If you can't be bothered to do the math, that's a combined total of infinity dollars. Well... Let's see here.
Well, I remember seeing, Activision Blizzard separation from mega conglomerate Vivendi was stalled when a lawsuit accused the company of not giving a fair shake to shareholders. Today, Activision Blizzard announced that the deal can go through as the court has lifted an injunction placed to prevent the sale. Well, today's the 14th. Obviously, this news is from like the 10th. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the whole thing. I don't know. Like, I just had seen that the other day, and we were talking about that earlier, so I just wanted to pull up the article.
Yeah. So I guess it's going to go through by tomorrow, or if you're listening to this podcast on the day of release, today. So, the 15th. And Vivendi's going to sell it, like you said, $5.83 billion.
Rock, Paper, Scissors suggesting a Call of Duty MMO.
Rock, Paper, Shotgun?
Yeah. Whatever. They might as well be scissors if they're going to suggest that.
Call of Duty, isn't it kind of already an MMO?
Not really, but...
I mean, in a sense. Your mass multiplayer online. That's what it is.
That's not what an MMO is,
That's still
That's
different,
exactly
though.
what an MMO is.
Like online multiplayer deathmatch?
If you want to talk about MMO RPG, then yeah. But it's already an MMO.
Oh, that's what it's assumed when you say MMO, though.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it is. Like, you say MMO, you don't think of a shooting
Maybe
game.
to, like, the casual, lame gamers that don't keep up on the news.
No, for hardcore people,
And
they
they
know
watch.
what they're talking about. When you say MMO, what do you think of? What game do you think when you say MMO?
Wow.
Yeah. No one thinks, oh, massive, but you're making the word literal, so saying, like, any kind of video game ever can be an MMO if a lot of people play the multiplayer.
As it should be treated.
Well, so you know what? Even if you do it literal, the mass part, because obviously it's like what Call of Duty at most, maybe like 20, 32 players. You know, an MMO is still going to host that many more players.
Oh, no, but yeah, you're talking about hundreds of servers, though. It's the same as Call of Duty. When you're playing on a server, you can look up people. You will have no less than probably
you're not on the same server. No, if you're not like you're going to, like, take your mount and go right over to the next map.
Well, if you're playing an MMO, like, Ultima Online runs off of, like, 4 servers now. There's a shit ton of people still playing that game.
Lord, British.
You don't need hundreds of servers. You can have, 2 servers like Terra, and have, like, a huge fucking amount of people on each server.
Just walk away from this Agamemnon. You're not going to win.
Fine, I'll walk away. Jesus.
Just drink your shake. Be happy about it.
Done with it. I'm just sipping on empty hopes and dreams.
Got 4 servers, 3 servers.
So I don't know. But yeah, so it's nice. Activision can buy themselves back with oodles of dollars. So,
oodles?
Yeah, oodles. Oodles and noodles.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was money. I don't know if it was actual money. It's in shares. So.
It's just like it's in-game currency for WoW.
you have guild.
We'll give you all the gold you want. You're like, really? WoW gold.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. When they already signed the contract, damn it, you sons of bitches.
Give you legendary weapons.
Still worth more than $1.
I would not doubt it at all.
Definitely are.
That's just sad.
You know how hard it is to get an orange weapon in that game?
Harder than...
I have like 7.
I'll try one thing real quick. Okay, so to get Shadowmourne, well, this is the type of the Lich King. I have no idea what. I don't think you keep up with WoW either.
I know the story.
But you know Shadowmourne.
I know how to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to go to the Ice Crown Citadel, right?
Yeah.
Which is where the Lich King is. So you have to do a weekly quest. I forget what it's called, so it's not going to be very accurate, but
chores.
The mechanics are the same. So basically you have to do this weekly, right? So a weekly is like you can do it once a week, and you have to wait until that time resets. So whatever the time was that when you last did it, that's when you can do it again.
Yeah.
So you can do them once a week, right? So you have to get 24 of these shards, right? So whenever you go, so there's 24 of these shards, right? So you have to go and do that weekly quest and only have about a 25% chance of even getting that shard. If you don't get it, you have to wait the next week to get a chance of getting that shard again. So once you get like 25 of those, then you can turn it in and then do some other shit. And but like just doing that by itself, it takes like months of time. Because I know you have to get like certain parts to even get like those shards and do that weekly quest until you finally get 25. Having a rare chance to even get that shard from even one. Yeah, and just like, and by then you can like, you have the materials, and then you have to do another quest to like actually build Shadowmourne.
Oh, wow.
So that's like a months.
Well, then you have to get Frostmourne, like the remnants of Frostmourne.
Yeah, you have to get Frostmourne, which is like the Lich King's sword, and then that's how you make...
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Because all you do is run in and get it, then you fight like the ghost of the Lich King or some shit like that, and then you beat him, you get Frostmourne, but then you're just holding on to it. It's not a weapon you can use. Yeah. Because like old legendary sword.
The Shadowmourne is just like, well, all that shit that you get, you make an axe.
You can make. I think you can make an axe, a sword, or a staff out of it, or something.
Like that. It's super powerful.
Right, no, I think it is an axe. I think you're right.
But it's insane.
It's probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, weapons in the game.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, for how much work you do. Like,
it's totally worth it.
That's what I was saying, because it might be the strongest, but at this time, like when we were last active, was like when Cataclysm first came out. So that's like the Wrath of the Lich King era. So now they're in the fucking Pandas shit now. So it's been years since that.
Mr.
So
Pandaria.
I'm sure they have something much stronger than it, but. I think it's one of maybe it levels while you level as well. One of those kind of items.
I think it might.
I'm not sure, but
whistles while you twerk.
Well, like, have you ever like been in a game and looked at an item that you want to unlock, looked at the stipulation, and be like, all right, time to dedicate 4 months to get it. Like, you ever like shit? Like, really, have to dedicate like at a minimum like.
Well, then you have to do like
at a minimum that's 25 weeks. You get 25 shards.
You got to do dungeon raids to get 200 like marks of honor.
Yeah, and you better be in a top-end guild to actually be able to get enough people to be active online at the same time to go on these raids and know what the fuck they're doing, because you can easily wipe on these raids.
To buy even one mark of honor from the vendor, you have to have like 20-something raid points or dungeon points. Yeah. So you get a handful of those, like maybe 2 or 3 for every dungeon raid you do.
Yeah.
So you have to do hundreds of dungeons and raids.
Well, when you get this loot, you have to roll for it. So there's 20. There's like, well, I think the raids are a lot smaller now. I think they're like a max of like maybe like 24, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
But you can do 60. You got 15 to
There's
20 other
15
people
there's 15
wanting
men
the
and
same item
25
that you're
men.
rolling for. You got to take the chances. Like, oh, maybe I have an even smaller chance. There's a tiny chance that this item probably spawned, and there's an even smaller chance that you got to split it with. I don't know because I don't think everybody. No,
Can you just kill?
Nobody gets their
it?
own copy of the loot, right? It's just whoever.
If it's like you got to roll on it.
Yeah, if it's like not common or any item in general, especially weapons. It's like that's the one item that dropped. Not everybody gets one just because they did it. Like there's one item that dropped.
Wow.
And the master looter, if he doesn't take it, then people can roll on it. So they usually /roll. You'll get a number, and the highest number, whatever wins it.
Gotcha.
So there's like it's all based off of chance.
Yeah.
And so that's it's insane.
This is why I don't play MMOs.
So that's the explanation to get one orange item. It's fucking
the one orange item.
The one orange item. Yeah. All the other orange items, they're mainly like either NPC characters have them. They're not available if you actually have in game. That's what most legendary items are. But that's one of the ones that you can get. And
there's a few. They're like easier, but like when you get them, it's like, oh yeah, I got this cool orange weapon, but like it's good for like when you're level 30 and I'm a level 60 something, and I'm just barely getting it because I can solo this dungeon on my own.
Yeah, you can.
And it's like
you can solo a previous 42 man dungeon.
Yeah, and it's not like Borderlands where you find like an orange, you can pawn it off to one of your other low tier characters. Like no, like it binds on equip. So.
Yeah. Binds on equip, can't sell that shit.
That's fucking lame. Well, definitely sounds a lot different than Call of Duty multiplayer, so we'll put a pin in that one.
Shut Leave me alone.
Shut up. Steambox Oculus Rift will define the next gen, says Bell Skiskini Ski.
Steambox controller is so odd.
Yeah, it looks really weird. It looks like it has eyes, like it's looking at you, peering into your soul.
I honestly don't think Steambox. What's the other one?
Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift. I don't think they're going to be as groundbreaking, revolutionary as people really think they are.
But former Epic Games designer says he's more interested in disruptive technology.
I think Oculus Rift will blow up.
What's going to be so disruptive about it?
It's going to disrupt things.
I think Oculus Rift will blow up, not Steambox. What is disruptive?
Huh?
I think Oculus Rift will blow up, like really popular, but not Steambox.
Maybe, but how much is it going to sell for?
I don't know. I mean, they're just setting out like dev kits for it and stuff. So like, the potential that they're reaching like right now is pretty crazy. Like you can just do like a random like horror game made after like the Unity engine, which is very like simple, like those Slender clone games and stuff like that. Having Oculus Rift, like you're wearing this whole. I mean, it's crazy, but like you're doing all the movements and stuff, and like you move around like while moving your head, so it's like you're completely immersed. I'm pretty sure that technology will blow up. Just like to be completely immersed, but. Steambox, I don't really care for that at all.
Isn't the Steambox pretty much just like a computer version of the console?
Yeah, basically with that weird ass controller.
It does. Well, I can't stop looking at it.
Here's the thing: like everyone was talking about how great the Ouya was going to be.
Oh,
Who the fuck do you know is playing it?
Yeah, it's because
there's a few 100,000 people that are probably playing it. But not nearly enough to put a dent in the market to be like, oh yeah, the Ouya is the hottest thing. Like you're not seeing any of these reports. Like the Ouya has all these great games. It's the hottest fucking thing.
Well, the thing is,
and then everyone's like, oh, give it time to grow. I'm just like, I guess, but what's the fucking point? I'm not going to sit here and buy a product and wait for it to come out with a better product when the previous product was a waste of fucking time to begin with.
I think the Ouya is more like we talk about. Like it's more of like a developer kit for like the Unreal Engine, Unity Engine, stuff like that. But it should blow up if it had the proper funding. But the thing is, Google Play and stuff like that, who are like the main supporters for like the indie titles that it's meant for, are not seeing, like, it's not their priority.
Yeah.
It's not making them immediate money, so they're doing other plans before giving the Ouya the time of day, which is why the Ouya is failing. If somebody did give the time of day, gave it proper funding, which nobody has, they would have resources to do more.
Well, I mean, that's
what it's meant for. Like developer kits and stuff like that.
Well, the whole thing with the Ouya is that it got its Kickstarter. It got millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And what did they did? Nothing with it. They blew it. They blew it.
Because it's meant for the indie. It's meant for the indie developer or indie game player fan base, which will.
Yeah, but then they shat in the fucking face of a lot of these indie game developers.
Well, what they show is that they don't have funding in it because Google Play. No one's getting immediate results out of it, so it's kind of like just going in a circle. Like. if they had proper resources and shit and advertisements and people making their games for the Ouya, it would blow up. It would be really successful because it's also the developer kit. But until that happens, it's just gonna fail.
I think one of the major problems, and I mean I don't know exactly what they could have done, but it's the whole thing where it's with the system. It's a system is only as good as its games. It's the Ouya should have tried, once they got their Kickstarter money or whatever, it's they should have used that to leverage, to go to a developer and be here's our system, we can make it, we have all this money, make a game for us. And that game is what's going to get people to want to buy the system. Because ultimately, if you're going to get a Steam box or an Oculus Rift, the Oculus Rift can be the most amazing piece of technology, but if there's not a game you want to fucking play on it, then there's no reason to get it.
Yeah, then what's the point?
Yeah, so I think that was kind of the fault of the Ouya, where it's yes, it has this potential, and if indie developers decide to go to it, but it's people aren't going to want to buy it until they see oh my god, this game is on there, I want to get it now.
Well, the thing is, the Ouya is not meant for there's a game on the Ouya. It's not meant to be hey, play this is better than PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah.
It's not really trying to compete with PlayStation or Xbox because it's its own thing. It's supposed to be meant for these lower things because it's compatible to Unity engine. It's supposed to be the Unreal engine and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a platform where developers can put their engine on so people can create games with it and put that on and it has direct access to the Google Play Store so they can put those created games into an indie market. So it's not supposed to be I get this and they can play Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about any kind of EA or anything like that. It's meant for people to create something and have Google Play there to put their shit out there.
Yeah.
So in that regards, Google Play has no support because it's not giving them immediate money, so it's just failing. Because nobody wants to give their engines to it because it's not nobody's seeing any turnaround.
Yeah. I get that. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I totally get it. But then to understand that, to understand everything you're saying, is to completely ignore and throw out the window the symbiotic relationship between indie game developers and big publishers completely. Whether indie devs rely on it or not, want to admit it or not, they rely on the big publishers because without big publishers making big games, or highly successful games at least, for these platforms, then they wouldn't have companies like Sony and Microsoft investing in these little indie titles to make exclusive games. They wouldn't have that. They wouldn't have that extra plus. They have the surplus of money to take a risk on these companies that made Journey and Mushroom Wars and Pixel Junk Shooter and stuff like that. Without that, then these indie developers, they would be literally having to sit there and asking fans to do Kickstarters. When you go back to Death Inc., that was a game that I was really looking forward to, and they did the Kickstarter, and they were $300,000 short of their goal, and the game is scrapped essentially. So not enough people wanted to see the game made. Then tough shit, and that's literally in a sense, I think that's how it should work. I mean, there's going to be a lot of great games that aren't going to see the day of light, but there's going to be a lot of shitty games that don't see the day of light. But it works the other way around as well.
Well, that's what Xbox is trying to do, though, because
Microsoft shat on all of the indie game devs. None of them, the people that made Meat Boy, I think that was, they shat on that company. They don't never want to work with Microsoft again.
Well, what they're doing now, because the Xbox, because Xbox has been going back on their word for every fucking thing they say. Not only shit on indie developers, now they're saying that they are going to release indie titles to be available for purchase and stuff, which is great. But they're going to be going through a huge hardcore screening process before they can get a chance to even be on the marketplace. Which people are saying it might work out, won't work out, because you might miss out on a lot of great gems. Because who knows if they're going to have a shitty screening process of how to actually get the game on the Xbox Live, But that's their kind of indie support, so who knows if that's going to work out? Because you can have some great games, but if it's just going through this company that's just going to be screening, what the fuck are they looking for?
Yeah.
They're just going to ignore some probably good gems, which I don't think the Xbox indie market is going to work out at all.
I wouldn't imagine so. I mean, the fact that they at first were no, we're not going to do it. Oh, wait, people are yelling at us. We're totally going to do it.
No, I think Steam is still going to remain the strongest in that, or one of the strongest.
Yeah. But basically what I wanted to say with the Ouya, it's just like, yeah, I agree with you where it's like, they're not going to, there's no way they can compete directly with Sony or Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like, nobody can. I mean, Nintendo, to an extent, before they shot themselves in the foot with the Wii U. But it's like, the Ouya still needs something, I mean, they're differentiating themselves by, making it, like, focusing on indie developers, but they still need that game, or those couple of games where someone's like, this game is awesome, it's not on these other two systems, you can only get it here, even if it's like a simple fucking game, it's just still like, you still need that one thing to draw people in where they're like, I need this system.
Not only do you need the game, but you still need that core of gamers that appeal to the PS3, the Microsoft, and the Wii. That's part of the other thing with the symbiotic relationship, is like, whether you want to believe it or not, it's still totally reliant on big publishers and great games, these big top-selling games, that they're what is also helping keeping the industry moving and allowing, I'll say it again, allowing Sony and Microsoft, or formerly Microsoft, to be able to take chances on some of these indie game devs and give them some space and some money and some time to make these small, great titles that you can just download for $10-15.
Yeah.
And it's a drop in the hat out of your wallet to play a really great game, a game that, is like a 10 out of 10, like Journey. Journey's like 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, no matter where you go. And that game costs me like fucking $5.
Yeah.
With PlayStation Plus,
Took the midnight
But I mean, even then, it's like $15. Great game, But then on the other side of that, like, you need to appeal to those gamers that take chances on those games. And it's like, yeah, okay, you can't compete with Sony and Microsoft directly, but you have to compete nonetheless. You can't just make a game and say, like, you can't make a system and be like, oh yeah, but we're not trying to compete, you guys, when that's a crock of shit. You're making a game system for gamers. You are officially competing with everyone else that's in that same market.
Yeah.
By default. Whether you say so or not, you are.
I think they kind of also are in like a really difficult position, because if you look at, say, like the Wii, where it's like they, like you said, like they're actually like where the Wii appealed to not the hardcore people. It's like, it's mainly like, parents and women, it's like people that normally don't play games. Yeah. Whereas, like, the Ouya is, like, the opposite, where it's, like, the most hardcore of hardcore gamers want this system. Yeah. So you have, like, an even smaller market, and then you're trying to draw them away. I think it's also the timing. I think had it came out a few years earlier, before they started beating the drums for the PS4 and the Xbox One, because it kind of got overshadowed by that. Yeah. But if it was one of those, like, in-the-middle systems where it's, like, people were, like, before, like, all these, like, I would say even before this year, had it came out last year, it probably would have done a lot better. Because, like, once, like, BioShock hit, then Last of Us hit, then GTA 5, it's like, even the PS3 is, like, cranking out some of the best games it's had, like, for its entire life, and it's, like, it's hard to draw people's attention away from that to be like, hey, check out our system. It's like, yeah, that's cool. But GTA 5,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a combination of things. But I do hope that it's able to find a fan base and be successful, because the whole thing with indie developers is like they don't have the studio breathing down their necks, so that's where you're going to get a lot of creativity and a lot more innovative games coming out of that. So that's all I got to say about that.
Good stuff.
All right, moving on. What else?
Team Ico is re-engineering The Last Guardian. That's right, it's still standing, still strong. All right, this one comes from Destructoid. The longer we go without hearing anything of substance about Team Ico's The Last Guardian, the more convinced I become that it's ultimately destined for PS4. Yeah, no shit, Destructoid. Thanks for the news flash. Last we heard, Puppeteer and Knack were taking priority over the title. That was in August. Sony Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida tells Game Industry International that he cannot talk about it, in quotes, end quote. Which platform the game will be released on, but the project's still alive, thankfully. So we're waiting for the right time to reintroduce The Last Guardian in an inappropriate way. He said, with the lack of updates, I can't, ... Well, the game is in development, and it's well staffed, and Team Ico head Ueda-san is here working, and... even though he's not a Sony employee, he's dedicated to the project, but we're not yet ready to update. So basically they're like, okay, and he says we're not on a hiatus in terms of releasing new information. They're pretty much just like, they're working on it, but it's not quite ready yet. They want to tell the public that, hey, it's out. And there was another article where they were blaming, I think it was like someone who was like the head of Sony in America, for being the one saying that they were on hiatus. It was like, no, we're not on hiatus.
I think it was Kaz Hirai.
Yeah. I think so.
He's a Sony of America president.
Yeah, so he's like, no, it's that jackass's fault. So they're like, yeah, we're still here. Don't forget about us.
Yeah.
Knack and Puppeteer aren't screwing us up. We're working diligently.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear it's going to be a PS4 release at some point.
I remember like
or Oculus Rift.
Wasn't it like 2 months ago they were saying like, yeah, it's going to go to PS4.
Yeah.
At this point, like, okay, 4 or 5 months until the PS4 comes out. Okay, yeah, obviously. That's obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they've been working on it since 2007, but what else has been working on since 2006 or 7?
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, and there you go. And
or Versus 13, if you want to go by the original name. But, like, that's all I thought. It's like, it's just a repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Why is everyone fucking shitting bricks and worrying so much? Like, yeah, when it comes out, it comes out. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great title. Just wait for it to finish. Obviously, it didn't come out to what do you call it? E3. It didn't make it to TGS. So what? Mm-hmm. They're still fucking working on it. If it was ready, then it would be great. But if it wasn't ready and they had it there, it would look like fucking shit probably. Because it's just shitty fucking alpha or something. if they're even in that stage of development, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So just let them work their magic, and when it's ready, it's ready. Like, for all you know, it'll be at E3 next year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, for the PS4. Now they have the whole life of the PS4 to fucking do something.
Yeah, they won't have to worry about the limitations with Shadow of Colossus, where it's like, there's not no space on the disc. It's like they have everything they could possibly need.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But Yoshida Team Ico also left this message. He said, "For people that are waiting diligently for Last Guardian, you ain't ready for this jelly."
Oh, my gullibility.
Totally said that. In Japanese.
In Japanese. Don't start none, won't be none.
Oh, man. Well, moving on. Alright, so this one's for April Ethereal, if you're out there listening in the ethereal plane.
Codename Rachel.
Codename Kids Next Door. But for those of you that played City of Heroes, you know, it's funny, because I wanted to play that when it first came out, and I just never did. And then before I knew it, it was gone, like 6 years later. Yeah, procrastinator. But you know, they're trying to bring it back under the name of City of Titans, and they're trying to fund it through Kickstarter, which is pretty much, I guess, how everything gets funded nowadays. Maybe this is a tangent. If you want to get the government shutdown to stop, kickstart the government.
Yeah, just to go on a slight tangent, even Square Enix is doing a Kickstarter program for indie dev titles.
Huh.
So
for the Ouya?
No, yeah. Shut up. But yeah, I mean, the Kickstarter's like, that's where like all the big publishers are going now. Now they're using we'll crowdsource this, and
we don't need money. We got everyone else's.
Exactly.
Pretty much pay for it twice. Pay to fund it, and then pay to buy it.
Yeah.
But within a mere 5 days, they met their first Kickstarter goal, which was $320,000. And this one doesn't have exactly what it was, but they had it like in tiers. Like this one was supposed to be the first goal was to make it was like more of like an iPad app. And like once that's to generate money to put back into the project, and then that would it's pretty much like they have like a long-term strategy. They know that they're not going to make a huge expansive MMO like overnight. Yeah. So like, all right, we're going to make this. We're going to try and use the funds from that or the revenue from that, roll that into something else, do another Kickstarter, and try and rebuild this game that people loved it. People really were bummed out when they decided to pretty much shut it down. And I think it was, according to April Ethereal, I can't remember what MMO had come out, but they were trying to put all the resources behind that. Yeah. So this kind of got the shaft as a result. But I think it's really cool. I think this is probably one of my favorite ideas for Kickstarters, because it's one thing for an original title, but one thing to bring something back. And the fact that it's especially with this, where it's people are passionate about it, that's why they're putting their money towards it.
Yeah.
It's this. They know this is the only way they're going to see it, so they're putting their money where their mouse is. So, and then here's one that I know we'll all enjoy, and I say that with no troll face to be seen. Battlefield, Bad Company isn't forgotten, says DICE. The team is just on a very long vacation. Probably got buried by one of those buildings. Says, as a studio, DICE loves the Bad Company series, but a new installment isn't a point of focus right now. Creative director Lars Gustafsson who fought John Jones, the last UFC pay-per-view, told Polygon that my feeling is that I would love to do it. For me, when we started the company with 1942, and that was a long-ass time ago, it really worked. It was really work passion. And then we worked our way through the era of different wars, and I love them all like my little babies. When it came to Bad Company, it was creative freedom. Don't take yourself too seriously. Put smiley faces on grenades.
Yes.
Dice currently has his hands full with 2 other big-name projects, Mirror's Edge 2 and Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. The work could put the project off a couple of years at the earliest. If it does happen, that is, we'll see, he said. But trust me, the Battlefield team isn't forgotten. They're just on a very long vacation.
That's fine. When you say you got to put it on hold for 2 other fantastic games,
yeah.
I don't really fucking care.
At least it's not Knack and Puppeteer. So that's pretty much that. Well, Destructoid's kind of in the same boat we are. It's like I always appreciated the humor and the tone over the straight-faced campaign of, say, Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, I'm hoping, well, there we go. Maybe we'll wait. Maybe 3 years we'll get a Bad Company 3.
I don't know if I can wait that long.
But you'll have Battlefield 4 and 5 in the midterm.
I'm on the fence of even getting Battlefield 4 to begin with, just because it's so close to release from Battlefield 3. I just don't agree with its time release.
It's been almost 3 years, though.
Since Battlefield 3?
Yeah, 2011, I guess 2.
The fuck are you smoking? It came out last year.
Battlefield 3?
Yes.
It did come out last year.
But wasn't it just pretty much like a beta for Battlefield 4?
In a sense, yeah.
I don't know.
No, listen, I get that why they're releasing Battlefield 4, because they want it to be a launch title for the new platforms.
Yeah.
I get it. That's fine. I just don't exactly agree with it coming so close, so soon, just a year after Battlefield 3 release. It feels... No, look, before you say anything, it feels way too much like Call of Duty. And that's my biggest fear. Although, it's crazy because Battlefield 3 was leaps and bounds from Bad Company 2. Although they didn't have a lot of the stuff that made Bad Company 2 as great as it was, especially without as memorable an expansion as Vietnam. And then from there, from Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 was leaps and bounds in advancement from Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
That I can get on board with, and I have. I'm on board, and I'm going to get it. It's going to be my only title that I have for PS4.
I was going to say, I know you're going to get it.
I'm going to get it.
You might morally disagree.
Yeah, I do.
You're going to get it.
I'm going to get it just because that's the title that I want for my PS4, because there's nothing else. Like, I've never been an Assassin's Creed fan. Watch Dogs isn't intriguing me all that much, and honestly, even if Metal Gear was another launch title, I've never bought. I'm a Metal Gear viewer.
Yeah.
I stream Monster Metal Gear.
Battlefield
I don't
3
play Metal Gear.
Did come out in 2011.
Did it?
Yeah, I was right.
Oh
no!
It's 2 years old. I was pretty positive.
No, not even 2 years. Is it 2
years?
Yeah,
October of 2011.
Wow,
it's been more than 2 years.
Has it been that long? Or has it just been that long since I played it?
No, it's 2 years of constant content that they've been releasing for it. You don't want that constant content to come out for Battlefield 4? Or they're going to keep you entertained for 2 years?
Did it really come out in 2011?
Yeah, it did. I'm second guess myself.
See, that's how good the game is. It feels so fresh.
It's been fresh. They just released the last expansion just a few months ago.
I'm there with you, even though, obviously, it's been out for longer than you've realized, but...
Yeah, no, I'm totally, I don't even feel wrong, I just feel mindfucked. Have I just lost that much track of time? I still can't believe it.
Every day kind of bleeds into
Show
the next.
me.
But it's one of those things where it's they do still feel, very closely, related, it doesn't feel like enough time has elapsed for a sequel, but at the same time, it's what they've put in the sequel... Yeah, I mean, and it depends on, because it's
Call of Duty puts out 2 Call of Duty games a year.
See,
Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I see that, and it's definitely when you compare it to Call of Duty, it's that's lifetime in between games. Yeah. But I guess I don't know, if you look at a GTA, one released at the beginning of the system of PS3, one released at the end. I mean, obviously Battlefield's somewhere in the between where it's not it's not a yearly release and it's not going to take 6 years.
4 titles, so
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it does feel a little soon, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I guess is my point.
No, I think it was soon for Bad Company 2 transition to Battlefield 3. That was a year.
Yeah.
When did Bad Company 2 came out in what, late 2010, 09, something like that?
Yeah, I guess it was like 09, yeah. I remember it coming out.
No, I think it was like March 2010 or February 2010.
I remember.
Well, whatever. Keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
I mean, it's not like fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate getting released 6 months later.
That was a joke I was waiting to make. I was going to say, well, what would you be happier if they called it Ultimate Battlefield 3?
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, I'm happier about Battlefield 4 for the simple fact that Recon's got its C4 back. I don't care if they released it the very next day. Like, here's Battlefield 4.
Well,
Recon's got
the
C4.
destruction went back to like Bad Company 2.
Yeah, and that
destroyed
too.
like fucking everything.
So I don't know. I feel like they looked at Battlefield 3 and they're like, all right, now let's make this even better.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that it's an improvement. If it was just a rehash, then it's like, 2 years later, just play the same fucking game.
It was March 2nd, 2010. And then Battlefield 3 came out, what, October 2011?
Yeah.
So like a year and a half.
So kind of cannibalized it a little bit.
Yeah. I still think 2 years is a good amount of time between a sequel.
So it was just 4 months short of 2 years.
Yeah.
So still not terribly bad.
Horrible.
I mean, when Battlefield 3 came out, I vividly remember thinking it was too soon because we're still in like the nitty gritty of Bad Company 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so used to it, I just didn't want to move on.
But I did. And it hurt.
I don't play much Battlefield 3. I'm still ranked 12. I was like ranked like 27 in Bad Code 2.
Okay, look, that's the exception because in Bad Company 2, it took forever to rank up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like as much as I played, I clocked in close to 500 hours almost in that game, and the highest I hit was level 44.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 takes forever to level up.
Does it?
It is for me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because like the few matches I played, I was like level 2, barely level 2 still.
I haven't
Because
even level 1 yet.
You start out as a level. You don't even start as a level 1. You're level 0. Like you work your way up to level 1.
Yeah, I haven't
and then you're private first class. Yeah.
You don't even have boots yet.
And then I got that, and then I got to level 2. So.
I see. I don't know, but I'm looking. I don't know. To me, like if I had the choice, like if I was still playing like Battlefield or Bad Company 2. And I looked at like the specs. I mean, obviously, one's a newer game, one's next gen. But like Battlefield 4, like I'm more excited for Battlefield 4 than I was for Battlefield 3. It just feels a lot more like Bad Company 2. A lot of the mechanics that I'm a little bit more used to are there. Mm-hmm. And Recon's got C4 back. I mean, that alone.
And mine grenades.
Yeah.
Or mine spotters.
They blow your mind.
I mean,
motion sensor.
Spot grenades.
And then tanks aren't like Uber anymore. At least they were in the beta. So you can destroy those damn things. Like before, it was just like, I don't know, the rockets practically just bounced off.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing where it's like, I'm glad the rockets do the damage they do, mainly because tanks should be used for tactical purposes. Because even like a fucking jihad, people can take out a fucking tank if it's out in the open. A couple of rocket hits and boom, it's deactivated, and you're a sitting duck. So when you're using a tank in a city scene or something, you have to use your corners and to take that thing out. Or if you're the tank, you need to use the corners to make sure you're safe no matter where you're going. Because a tank, as strong as it is still a fragile piece of $1 million equipment,
You can't just James Bond it and drive through the city in a tank.
Exactly. You can't just be GoldenEye and run through fucking brick walls anywhere you go. I mean, you can do that.
If you're Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I don't know. But to me, like, the quintessential scene for, like, taking out a tank for me is always Saving Private Ryan, where they put the sticky bombs and blow off the tread.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do that with some sticky bombs, 3 rockets is sufficient to blow the damn thing up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the sticky bombs was to destroy the track.
Yeah, I know. But Tom Hanks.
And then another one to throw in.
Shot it.
See, that would be a cool thing if you can get on the tank and, like, throw a grenade.
That would be badass. I would love that. You just force. You have to like pry the top part open.
Yeah,
like, oh no, we've got a breach. Now you got a grenade too.
Yeah.
Now you got a grenade on your balls.
That'd be cool if they did something like that. Yeah. Towards like if you had like 2 or 3 people in a group, then you could all flood the tank and then explode it and then either blow it up or take it over or something like that.
That's like the enemy's guts. You're all cleaning them out. And they're all over the controls. That'd be awesome. I want to play that game. I want that game to come out. EA, if you're listening, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Bad Company 3. 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
So in other news, THQ is suing EA and ZUFFA over the UFC video game. So pretty much, THQ originally developed the UFC Undisputed game, which sold well. Personally, I don't think it was very good. So basically, THQ and ZUFFA entered into negotiation of ZUFFA to acquire the full rights of the game for a reported $10 million. However, THQ claims that the UFC received information from rival EA about the poor state of THQ's finances, gleaned when EA was considering purchasing THQ. THQ claims that they were hamstrung in the negotiation and that the actual value of the UFC gaming rights was $20 million. So pretty much they're all butthurt because like, oh, well, they knew we were going out of business, so we want our other $1 million and pay off our fucking debtors and creditors and shit. So I don't know. It seems like they're whining to me. It's like, you got fucking $10 million. Like, really, you're going to cry like that much? Like, we wanted another $10 million. You guys are bankrupt anyway. You're not making anything. Yeah. You know? So I don't know. I mean, and EA made better game anyway. On top of that, I'm sure EA UFC is going to be a lot better than UFC fucking Undisputed.
Hopefully. We
throw a 20-hit combo at somebody, land every hit, and they still knock you out in one punch. Thanks, UFC Undisputed. I'll never play that fucking game again.
Yeah, I was like a champion with Ken Shamrock.
Oh my god, or EA MMA Wars.
Yeah, just fucking punching each other to death. First punch wins.
Pretty much. Now when we were playing, I think we were being like Silva and John Jones.
Yeah.
We were battling those. Like, yeah, it was first hit one every time.
It's like playing Bushido Blade. You're just like, first hit wins.
Oh my god, I would love to see another Bushido Blade.
Yeah.
Can you imagine with the graphics now? And like just like the realistic damage, like if you barely like nip someone, just nipped, just like slices the arm, like realistic blood, like maybe that arm's not necessarily like cut off, but it's still useful or something, just like every slice is actually like real time like damage, like, oh man, I'm getting so excited. But alas, it won't happen because instead of doing another Bushido Blade, they made, I think it was like Kengo or something, and you had like spirit meters or some garbage like that. But instead, we can get 20 fucking Call of Duties and can't get a third Bushido Blade. Bullshit.
Yeah. Or a new Samurai Showdown.
Well, no, they did make one, but I think it was only in Japan.
Was it really?
Remember?
Yeah, that game looks so dope, too.
Dude,
really?
Oh my god. When it first came out, I was like, this looks like garbage. And then me and River City Hobo, RP, we were looking at, like, because they added fatalities to the game. And they looked badass. And then it's like, we were getting all hype. And it's just faded from memory. I don't know what happened.
Always wondered what happened. And it's like, they just decided not to do a North America release. So.
Yeah. It's like SEAL Team 6 came in there and just killed everybody and took the only copies so the only they could play it. So you guys
buried it with
Captain
Bin
Phillips.
Laden. With Captain Phillips.
Him too.
He's alive.
I know. He changed his name to Wilson.
Oh my god. Ridiculous.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring up also the Beyond Two Souls. Obviously it's getting very bad reviews, 6s and 5s. I don't know if it's got as low as a 4. But people don't seem to be caring for it too much, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I just beat Heavy Rain, and a lot of people are comparing it to Heavy Rain since Quantum Dream made it before. And it's definitely something huge to try to make what am I saying? What am I trying to say? Yeah, it's really hard to compare
big shoes
it to.
To fill.
Yeah, very big shoes to fill. Fucking.
And Ella Page's small feet.
Yeah, I plan on playing Beyond Two Soul just because I want to play Heavy Rain first. I don't know when I'm ever going to play it, but Heavy Rain was just like, I got it and I just couldn't stop playing it.
Nice.
And it was like a mini heart attack throughout the whole game. It's like, fuck, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And just like, it doesn't let you stop,
Yeah.
It's just like, you do the motions and stuff. It's never like, put down the controller and watch a cinematic for like 10 minutes. It's never like that. Like you think you're just going to be watching a movie half the time and have some controls here and there. But like, it's all like the controls are always constantly in there.
Gotcha.
It doesn't let you rest for too long. It's usually just like a minute, maybe at the longest. Without like.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
No, yeah,
the interactive movie.
Yeah. This is like because this literally is just like an interactive, storytelling movie.
Yeah.
Like there's no fight mechanics or anything like that. You just do the motions of everything. Because you have like a walk, you have to hold down R2 to walk, and then you use left stick to like change the direction of the walk. So it's very basic stuff, but like everything lies into like the, the motions and stuff. Like, swing like a knife overhead, and it shows like a prompt to like go right, and then like go up like a half circle, If you're good at fighting games, you'll be really good at it. So you're just doing a bunch of motions and stuff. You do it quickly because you can't it doesn't wait for you, Like the cinematics go on. If you miss it, then that cinematic will change, but it's all seamless. It doesn't tell you, like, any choices you make can affect the outcome, but it does it so seamlessly that you have no idea what, unless it's like a huge choice, like, shoot him or, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it just moves on. It doesn't care what you do. Like, whatever you do, if you miss a prompt, if you get a certain amount of prompt, you do this. Whatever you see on the screen, it just keeps moving. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't, like, and the loading times, they're, like, insanely non-existent most of the time. Like, this really short, even, like, when you first start it up, you know how most games have, like, the initial long loading screen, like, the rest of the game can be seamless. Like, if you just start up the game, it, like, puts you in, like, almost faster than, like, the loading screens in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Like, everything about it is just really well made. The story was crazy. You can never expect what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that Beyond Two Souls just, like, had too much to live up to.
Yeah.
Like, almost shot himself in the foot, but can you really say that you shot yourself in the foot if you're trying to, like, beat out your own game? Like, they fucking did it phenomenally. So I have no idea what's bad about Beyond Two Souls.
And it's kind of funny. I've never seen a game that's like gotten such bad reviews that I wanted to play so bad. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's like I see it. It's like, why is it so bad? I have to find out.
Yeah, when it really something like fun to like watch. I play a ton of Marvel. So my hands get really tired, so I just don't want to do nothing. So Heavy Rain, I thought about that. Well, I heard about Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember playing the demo to Heavy Rain and it being awesome. And then I played it, I was like, I can just watch it, have, like, everybody says the story is fantastic. Look at the reviews, like, just went and got it. $10 for the director's cut.
Nice.
The greatest hits version. So I got that, and it's just been awesome. It's like the perfect thing to watch. And like I said, it was fucking raining hard when I was playing Heavy Rain. And it was just like the perfect, like, inside, if you want something good to watch and interact with it, it's great.
So perfect, too, because it almost never rains hard here.
I know, it rained like crazy.
The most rainfall constantly. Like, we got 2 feet in Lake Travis.
Yeah.
And it's the most rain we've had in, like, 3 years.
Yeah, and then, like a newscaster, they're talking about, like, how many inches of rain, and in the game, like, every time it goes to, like, a different scene or you switch to a different character, like, has the location and stuff, it has the amount of inches of water.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's raining so far. Like, it's, like, 1.63 inches, and, like, you go to, like, the chick, and it's like this time of day and this part of the week, and it's just like 2.24 inches, So it's like every time I see, it's like, it's like it's all happening right now. Like I just got the game.
I'm in the game.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you see this origami thing under your desk. No!
Dude, I just run away. I'm like, nope. Don't want anything to do with this. Leave it. How much do you love your? Nope. Don't
This is none of my affair.
What would you do? So shut up.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. Yeah, definitely gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's just it's fantastic. Like, it's just such original stuff. Like, I think the most, like, craziest thing in there is the FBI agent, who reminded me a little bit of young Fox Mulder.
Oh, nice.
With the Brooklyn accent.
Brooklyn.
Harry, comment. The blood spatter is not consistent with the stab wound. It just sounds really funny. But anyways, like, he has these sunglasses called ARI, A-R-I. I forget what it stands for, but, like, he literally can just create, like, virtual images, It's like an Oculus Rift, but like in the form of sunglasses.
Nice.
But it's like all interactive because you wear the sunglasses with the glove, and so you interact with
Power
everything.
glove.
So it's like Google Glass.
That's literally what it is. It's like a power glove. So, but it interacts with, like, the Airy is the glasses and the glove combined. It's like that's the tool.
I see.
Gloves and the glasses. So you can literally like just create like nobody else can see it because they're all just projections, right? So like, if he has sunglasses on, you can see this room, but he creates like there's one part where you're in like the waiting room to like a police station.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting to talk to like the head detective there, and he just creates like a little brick wall in the thing, and then creates like a weighted ball, and then he just starts throwing it up against the wall and like bouncing it, and like it shows the security guards looking at him, and he's just like doing nothing.
Yeah.
But like what he's doing, he can feel like the weight of it and everything like that because the glove puts the pressure, and then it like and then the glasses make that wall, so you just doof, and it's pretty cool. And like I said, we do the investigations as him. They give him like this crummy, rundown office in the corner because the head detective obviously hates the FBI getting on his turf and shit. You know what I mean?
See.
The classic struggle between power. But he puts him in this shitty office, and he goes in the office. All he has like a desk, some shitty, moldy concrete walls, and so he just sits down at the desk, and then he puts the glasses on. And then, like, you can choose your setting. So I chose Mars.
Nice.
And so it's just, like, you and your desk, and then you're just on Mars. You're just sitting out. You're just like virtual, which has like sand, the red sand everywhere, and then you're just going through all the evidence. You like throw up the evidence with one hand and move it to the right, and just like It's really fucking cool.
Nice.
It's like really really futuristic to be in a modern time.
Yeah.
So it's just like that whole detective investigation system was fucking crazy awesome.
Is there a Curiosity DLC to be on the Mars?
That'd be great because you can be Mars. You can be in the middle of like on top of like Niagara Falls or just like a waterfall type place, like in the woods, like under the ocean, and you just chilling.
Yeah.
Swimming by.
Yeah, like literally, there'd be like fish. You just be in the bottom of the ocean with your desk. Just
Aquaman. Hey.
It's all virtual environment,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
But it has like side effects to where like you have to take this serum called trypto, which is supposed to keep it in check because the thing that it's doing to your mind is basically like side effects to it. Like it starts like
making you trip.
It basically it makes like his brain go to like a full spasm and shit to where he he starts like not being able to walk. And if you can decide like not to take the trypto or something like that, he'll go to, like through withdrawals and shit, or you just take it and he'll be fine, but he'll be addicted. So it's that's just like a really very very tiny part. There's just so much shit going on in that game. It's good. I recommend Heavy Rain. To bottom line.
Nice.
I haven't played Beyond Two Souls, but just playing Heavy Rain, it has a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I completely forgot that there is a demo out for Beyond Two Souls.
I got to play it then.
Yeah, I think it's out. Yeah, it should be out obviously if the game's out. So I think I'm going to download that. So next Save File Corrupted, be able to talk about at least the demo version of it.
Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, Beyond Two Ellen Pages. I don't know. I guess Ellen Pages' other game was more successful. Yeah, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Pitwar, PTWOR. Check out our Let's Play of Tomb Raider. And check out.
We'll actually I'll be posting part 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, and check out Agamemnon's his beta playthrough, the engineer playthrough for Battlefield 4.
Yeah. I'll have another engineer video, and hopefully if the beta hasn't taken down already, I'll be uploading some Assault and Support gameplay. So, stay tuned.
I think this is like a day left or a couple days left.
YouTube.com / or backslash.
I think it's /
/PTWOR.
Yeah, it might be PTWOR 512. But either way, if you just type in Pit War into search, you'll get it.
Yeah,
cool.
And a whole lot of Pit Wars.
Stay tuned, eventually, for Bro Ops 2 this week.
Bro Ops with commentary.
Yeah. Now in POG form.
Right. Well, this is Bobby Beetle.
This is Prometheus.
And this is Agamemnon.
This has been Save File Corrupted.
Good shot, kid. I think you got him. Good shot, kid. I think you got him.
Speeding all around, an AK-47 got the power and it's bound to move any mother that gets in my way. Just another power machine on the freeway.
Kyle here. If you're like me, then you want all your shows in one spot, or a lot of shows in the same place, or better yet, some really great podcasts all on one network. Visit 4eyeradio.com for all the best shows featured on Blog Talk Radio, Stitcher, iTunes, Mixcloud, and more. 4-Eyed Radio Network, the Fern.